Good morning again. Our national anthem will be played by the Nicholls State University Symphonic Band and sung by Dr. John St. Marie, Assistant Professor of Music and Director of Choral Activities.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. On the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Second Lieutenant Dallas Fort Chaplain will give the opening reflection.
Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for these graduating students today. We pray that you give them wisdom, guidance, perseverance, and direction as they enter the next phase of their lives. Raise up great mentors for them that will hold them accountable for every decision and action that they make. Give them wisdom to be wise with their time and their money. And most importantly, we pray that they walk in the call that you have upon their lives. We pray all these things in your holy name. Amen.
Please be seated. Good morning and welcome to the 103rd commencement exercise of Nicholls State University. I am honored to introduce special guest for the ceremony, spouse of Nicholls State President, Mrs. Allison Clune, the family and friends of Donald Boise Bollinger, and President and CEO of the National World War II Museum, Mr. Stephen Watson, and proud Nicholls alum. I would also like to recognize the members of our stage party, Second Lieutenant Dallas Fort, Chaplain. Mr. Matt Rohn, Director of Athletics. Dr. Desley Plaisance, Director of University Graduate Studies. Dr. Eugene Dial, Vice President for Student Affairs. Dr. Bridget Scott, Interim Dean of the College of Nursing and Allied Health. Dr. Stephen Welsh, Interim Dean of the College of Education. Dr. Sue Westbrook, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs. Dr. Jay Clune, President. Mr. Donald Boise Bollinger, Chairman and Chief Executive Officer, Bollinger Enterprises, LLC. Our commencement speaker, Ms. Charlotte Bollinger, Executive Vice President and Corporate Secretary of Bollinger Shipyards. Dr. Jim Henderson, President and CEO of the University of Louisiana System. Dr. Michelle Caruso, Dean of Students. Dr. Marilyn Masick-Fry, Dean of the College of Business Administration. Mr. Thomas Kitchen, Board Member of the University of Louisiana System. Dr. John Ducey, Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences. Mr. Terry Breaux, Vice President for Finance and Administration. Mr. Kelly Rodrigue, University Registrar. Ms. Lori Valenti, Assistant Professor of Management and Marketing. And myself, Alex Arsenault, the Executive Vice President. At this time, I would like to welcome the 6th President of Nicholls State University, Dr. Jay Clune.
Thank you. From your very first days at Nicholls State University, there has been a group of people who have focused on you, on your growth, your opportunity, and your success. These men and women who devote their professional lives to making this institution a place of excellence and achievement. The outstanding faculty of Nicholls State University. Would you please stand? Thank you for the extraordinary work done by you. We appreciate your dedicated service and hard work in making a difference for the good of the students we serve. I want to acknowledge the hard work and energy of several groups that have helped to make this possible. To the Commencement Committee for your planning and execution of this event, to the grounds crew and maintenance crew for the setup and that extra something you always seem to do for Nicholls, to Lance Leday for stage decorations and backdrop, to the Nicholls State University Police Department for providing safety and security for this event, and to the NSU Symphonic Band members and your director, Dr. Jason Ladd, for providing such a fitting atmosphere for today's ceremonies. Thank you. Nicholls is named in honor of a local military veteran. We have been granted national status as a military-friendly institution, and for the last 2 years we have been designated a Louisiana Governor's Military and Veterans-Friendly Campus. We take these things seriously, and so I would now like to recognize the military veterans who are graduating today. Please stand to be recognized for your service to our country. Thank you. Now, will all veterans here today who have served in the armed forces please stand? Thank you for your service. We are honored to welcome to Nicholls Ms. Charlotte Bollinger. Born and raised in Lockport, Louisiana, Charlotte Bollinger earned a BA in education from the University of Louisiana Lafayette. She is Executive Vice President and has been a member of the Board of Directors of Bollinger Shipyard since 1984. Active in a number of professional organizations, she has served as president of the Lafourche Republican Women's Club and the Lafourche Chamber of Commerce. Ms. Bollinger served as president and was a founding member on the board of Lafourche Education Foundation. She was also a member of the founding board of Restore or Retreat, a coastal advocacy group. Ms. Bollinger served for 6 years on the board and executive committee of the Louisiana Board of Regents for Higher Education. She also served as a founding board member of the Water Institute of the Gulf. She is a member of the board of the New Orleans Ballet Association and held the position of chairwoman of the board. Ms. Bollinger has served on several governor-appointed task forces such as the School to Work, Workforce Development, and the Highway 1 Coalition. Ms. Bollinger was inducted into the Center for Women in Government Hall of Fame and is the recipient of the Harvey Pelche Award for service to Nicholls State University. She was awarded the first Bayou Industrial Association Big Achiever Award and the Community Hero Award by the Lafourche Chamber of Commerce. She was also named Woman of the Year by the New Orleans City Business. Ms. Bollinger is currently the chairwoman of the board of South Louisiana Catholic Foundation. She has 3 children, Renee, Ben, and Robin, and 7 grandchildren. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in giving a warm welcome to Ms. Charlotte Bollinger.
You know, the last time I came to a Nicholls graduation was about 22 years ago, and Billy Tozan was the speaker, and he showed a film that said that before we knew it, you would not need a key to run your car. You would be able to stand 10 feet away from your car, press a button, and the doors would open, and when you got in the car, you didn't have to put a key in the car. It would just start. I thought, that sounds impossible to me. But you know, it's amazing what happens over the years when people set out a vision of what can be and could be. And I'm so happy to be here, and I'm very excited for all of you graduates. So, you know, this graduation ceremony occurs during a milestone event for Nicholls. This is the 70th anniversary of this institution, and it's been celebrating now for the last couple of months in an active way. But that will be a milestone for all of you graduates for the class of 2018. Well, you did it. You did the work. You are part of the 17% of high school graduates that earn either a certificate, an associate degree, a 4-year degree, or a master's degree. Only 17% of high school graduates do that. You have enjoyed a college life on this beautiful campus in this almost utopian city of Thibodaux. With 100% of accredited programs, and many of them are accredited that don't even need to be accredited, you can be sure that as you go forth with a degree in your hand, that it really means something to be a Nicholls graduate. You have enjoyed life here on Bayou Lafourche with crawfish boils, festivals, both on and off campus, and tailgating while celebrating a pretty stellar football program. In fact, all of the teams here at Nicholls have done very well, and it's wonderful that it's only a short walk on campus to enjoy any of them. Some of you joined sororities and fraternities and have made lifelong friends by doing so. You also learned how rewarding it is to give back to a community. I saw on the billboard many times here at Nicholls that sororities and fraternities and other groups have given out 36,000 hours back to the city of Thibodaux. I think that's very remarkable. You have made, each of you, Thibodaux better. Many of you stepped up to participate in student government, countless clubs and organizations, and society of like-minded people. You participated in concerts and plays for the student body in this community to enjoy. You have added to the legacy of Nicholls State University, and you, each of you, have made a difference. Many of you had jobs while you were earning your degree. You know, every job that you have is an opportunity to learn something about yourself and about the work that you're doing. You know, you can always recognize a good manager, almost immediately. Just like a special teacher or professor that you have had along the way, people can inspire you to do good instead of requiring you to do good. They can get you excited about tasks and subject matters that you never had any idea that you would be interested in. You know, there's often a person that you meet along the way, a name that has made all the difference in your life. If you haven't met that person yet, I would venture to say that you will. During the Great Depression, my father, Boise's father, and Andy's father, Donald Bollinger, worked with his father as a machinist. You see, there was no money for college, so my grandfather taught each of his sons a skill set. Daddy was earning 10 cents an hour and worked 60 hours a week for a paycheck of $6. But you know, it's all relative, because there were many men, up to 25 every day, who sat on the levee just hoping somebody at the company would quit so that they could get a job. Daddy learned everything he could within the shop where he was working. He learned how to bid jobs and purchase, as well as the business part of business. When the owner of the company died, he had no children. So Mr. Barker left my daddy $10,000 because he loved his work ethic, his attitude, and his enthusiasm. You never know what people are going to see when they look at you. In 1946, with his own savings and that money, he started Bollinger Machine Shop and Shipyard. The rest, as they say, is history. So even without a college degree, he was selected to be have the namesake on the Student Union complex here on the Nicholls campus. You know, he loved people. He loved his family. He loved his community. He loved his company. He loved the state of Louisiana, and he especially loved Nicholls State University. Like my brother Boise today, he was awarded an honorary degree from this university, and he was so excited and thrilled to be here to do that. There will be many chapters in the book of your own life. You will always remember the very first job that you took after this graduation day. I was a high school English teacher right out of college, but eventually joined the family business. I have had the good fortune to work with 3 generations of family members, an incredible team of talented and professional workers who understood the culture of our company and made the company what it is. I would like to share a few thoughts with you today as you leap forward to the next exciting chapter of your own life. First, don't be afraid to take on challenges. If someone asks you to do something, they probably think that you can. Go for it. My degree in speech education worked fantastic for me beyond my teaching years. I was asked to do over 90 commissioning speeches for the United States Coast Guard Cutter Program. I did most of the writing for the newsletters, advertisements, and company brochures. Most of the company entertaining was done at my home. So many interesting people crossed the path of my own life over those last 30 years. Planning and hosting christenings and commissionings is a lot of work, but so gratifying, especially when you're working for the Coast Guard, the Navy, and commercial customers. So follow the passion that you have, and I promise you it will work out. You know, when the oil and gas business failed in the 1980s, Bollinger's was down to our very last good employees and no work ahead. Boise was CEO at the time and decided to reach out way beyond what we had always done. He bid on our very first government contract to build 16 Coast Guard cutters. We lost that bid. However, there was a problem with the process in the awards, and eventually we won that contract back. The building of cutters for the Coast Guard has been the absolute milestone event within the 72 years of our company's history and our family's history. We have built 3 classes of cutters and are now building the class that will replace the very first class that we built. 35 years of constantly building United States Coast Guard cutters. Isn't that amazing? Right here on Bayou Lafourche. As Dr. Clune says very often, talk about a game changer. So, don't get discouraged when you have to change direction. It really is true that when God closes doors, he definitely does open windows. Follow your passion. Don't get discouraged. You might not be clear today what you want to do, but you know who you are. One of my son's very best friends is Todd Graves. I'm not sure if you know who Todd Graves is, but I'm going to tell you. When he went to the bank, he was told that there was absolutely no way that any bank would finance his idea for opening a new and different fried chicken store. He had no money, but he did not get discouraged. He looked on the internet to see what jobs paid the very most money, and he was willing to do whatever it took. So he went to California and worked in a refinery, and then he went to Alaska and worked in the fisheries. He worked there until he had enough money to come back to the bank and said, I've got the $80,000 that you said that I needed. Others invested in Todd's concept when they saw his genuine commitment to what he wanted to do. People believed in Todd. He was genuine and he was authentic. And Todd now has over 90 Raising Cane restaurants all around this southern part of the United States. Like Todd, I never tried to be anybody except myself. That's good because everybody else is already taken, right? That doesn't mean that I don't learn and pay attention to people who are positive and who I think are successful. As you grow, you will recognize your own gifts and realize that there are some gifts that you have not yet discovered. Along the way, always be true to yourself and your own values. Follow your passion. Don't get discouraged. Be genuine and authentic. Remember that even as you work for a company, you really work for a person. Many of the successes of Bollinger's is focused on having friends who are customers and customers who are friends. Even in this world of social media, there is nothing like talking, laughing, and caring about people. Our motto at Bollinger's is that we want to do everything possible so that when a customer is in need, they will think of us first. We want to be the first to call when they have a problem. Treat people well. You will learn that you have internal customers and external customers. The internal customers are the people you work with. The external customers are the ones who buy your product or your services. Be positive and treat them with respect. So, follow your passion. Don't get discouraged. Be genuine and authentic, and treat people well. We were raised in a home where we understood the joy of helping the common good. Getting involved with politics by supporting candidates that we thought were good, raising money for schools and churches as well as public service in gifts of time, talent, and treasure was something that we all did. Our parents set that example. Working with like-minded people in causes that I personally love and care about has made a remarkable and positive difference in my own life. It will make you very happy. When Todd Graves told me, he said, when I had no money to give when people asked me for money, I sent over a pan of Raising Cane's fried chicken, and that made a lot of people happy, and it made Todd happy. So maybe you know this other story, maybe you don't, but I will share it anyway. There's a small, tiny, less than 5 feet tall Albanian nun who wanted to work in the slums of India, and it took her a long time to get there. She went by herself. Her focus was to give the poorest of the poor a clean and comfortable place as they were dying. She couldn't change their lives, but she could put a cool hand on their brow, and she could put them in clean sheets, and she could bathe them, and she could tell them that God loved her and that she loved you, and that and she loved them too. Of course, that's his Mother Teresa of Calcutta. Over 5,000 nuns continue her work in what is, to me, an amazing name, in the City of Joy. Mother Teresa understood that you can't do everything, but you certainly can do something. Follow your passion, don't get discouraged, be genuine and authentic, treat people well, and give back to your community. Lastly, whatever you earn, learn to live within your means. You will take a huge stress factor out of your life if you do that. And pay yourself first when you earn a paycheck. That means put something aside in savings and leave it there. If the company you work for has a 401k plan, join right away. Often companies do a match for every dollar that you put into that retirement plan. Do it. I'm telling you, do it. There is a miracle that happens with compounded interest, and you deserve to have a rainy day fund and a retirement fund. Even though that is not a priority for you now, you will be so happy that you did it. If you start saving now, you will be amazed at what will happen to your savings and your retirement. So follow your passion, don't get discouraged, be genuine and authentic, treat people well, give back to the community, and pay yourself first. As we say at the shipyard, a boat in the harbor is very safe, but that is not what boats are made for. So today, as you cut the line and set off from this campus and become the captain of your own life and ship, I wish you fair winds and following seas. And know, though, that when the storms come and the waves get big and rough, that you have something that a lot of people don't have, a great education that you earned right here at Nicholls State University. God bless America, Nicholls State University, and each and every one of you. Bon voyage!
Thank you, Ms. Charlotte. Nicholls State University wishes to present you a token of appreciation designed by your friends Allison Clune and Jerome Boudreau. So if you'd come up. As many of you know, the Bollinger name is on our student union, and if you've been in the union lately, if you've had a chance to go to the ballroom, Ms. Charlotte Bollinger took the lead on beautifying that space, working with my wife Allison, Brandy Toops, and Miss Marie Falgo. Thank you, Ms. Bollinger. Okay, today we are privileged to honor Mr. Donald Boise Bollinger with the highest degree this university can bestow, the honorary doctoral degree. Mr. Bollinger is Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of Bollinger Enterprises, which in part serves as a family office. He is the former Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of Bollinger Shipyards Incorporated, a family-owned full-service marine construction and ship repair company established in 1946. He graduated from the University of Louisiana Lafayette in 1971. Mr. Bollinger serves on numerous boards of directors, including chairman of the Nicholls State University Foundation. He also serves on the board of the University Medical Center Management Corporation, Audubon Commission, and National World War II Museum and Chief Executive Organization, to name a few. And if you go to the World War II Museum, that wing being added, the Bollinger Wing, is a testament to his philanthropy. Mr. Bollinger is married to Joy LeBlanc Bollinger, and they have 3 sons and 5 grandchildren. Dr. Westbrook and Dr. Masick Fry, would you please join Mr. Bollinger at center stage for the conferral of the Honorary Doctor of Commerce degree? Therefore, acting under the authority vested in me by the Board of Supervisors for the University of Louisiana System as President of Nicholls State University, I confer upon you, Mr. Donald Bollinger, the degree of Doctor of Commerce honoris causa with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Clune and Dr. Westbrook and the University System Board for this great honor. I follow in the footsteps of my father, who was my lifelong mentor, and another fellow here today, Stephen Watson, who got this honor a few years ago. Stephen came here on a track scholarship from Scotland. And he's sitting next to Dr. Mueller, the president and CEO emeritus of the World War II Museum. And Nick and I, 10 years ago, talked about his succession and collectively agreed, unusually, that we didn't need a PhD to run the size operation that the World War II Museum was becoming. Stephen, who had spent most of his working career at the museum, succeeded Nick as CEO and is doing a wonderful job. But it just goes to show you a guy coming to Nicholls on a track scholarship, thinking that he was going to be living in New Orleans and ended up in Thibodeau, graduated here, has a wonderful career, and became the CEO of, I think, the best museum in the world, and got his honorary PhD here. Now, to you graduates, today is the least you're ever going to know for the rest of your life, although you feel like you know everything. This is a commencement exercise, and that means it's the beginning. It's the beginning of life learning. I go to Harvard next year. I go every year. And people say, at your age, are you teaching? No, I'm still learning. I go to Oxford every year. I'm still learning. And today begins the beginning of your learning experience. The jobs you think you will have for the rest of your life, I can assure you, is not the jobs you will have for the rest of your life. This age group that you are in has a tendency to move around, and that life learning experience you gain every day will give you new opportunities and new chances that you will take advantage of. Todd Graves, Charlotte's favorite hero, who by the way has 147 stores, you need to update your notes, got a D on his term paper that laid out the concept of raising canes. And his professor told him it will never work. And he had a basic idea. He was a fry cook when he was going through the University of Georgia in a store that just sold chicken tenders, French fries, lemonade, and sauce. That was the complete menu. And he thought it was great and wrote a paper on building a business around it and got a D. And then went to Alaska, made the money, raised the money to get his seed capital, and built a phenomenal transport. And he called me today. He bought that original store in Georgia that he learned in. And I was duck hunting with Todd one day in Argentina, and we were in the blind, and he was telling me his vision of his business model, and he was just starting. And I say, Todd, you're either going to be very wealthy or broke, and it won't take you long to find out which path. Well, he did the very wealthy one. Thank you, Dr. Clune. Thank you, Nicholls. I'm passionate about Nicholls. As Doc said, I've been on the chairman of the board of the foundation for 25 years. My father instilled in us a true loving of Nicholls and the importance it was to this region, to our company. It's always been a tremendous source of great employers and well-educated employees. And I thank all of you for allowing me this wonderful honor.
We have I wouldn't say a small gift, but I'd like Mr. Boise to accompany me down.
We will now have the presentation of honors. Dr. Eugene Dial, Vice President for Student Affairs, will recognize the graduates who have achieved academic excellence.
Good morning. 13 students in this class are graduating cum laude with honor. Each of these students have earned a grade point average of at least 3.500. I will call each student's name individually. Please stand and be recognized. We request that the audience withhold applause until all candidates have been recognized. Linda Ayo, Jonas Bro, Emma Chauvin, Juliana Giacomino, Lacey Groh, Ciara Howes, Heidi Leday, Sydney Larill, Taylor Morvant, Seth Nicholas, Paige Sanford, Tyler St. Germain, Claire Terrio. Congratulations. You may be seated. Students who earn a grade point average of at least 3.700 graduate magna cum laude with high honor. 10 students in this class have achieved this distinction. They are Ocean Arman, Jason Fangay, me, Alvastad, Brittany Fonseca, Daniel Frias, Amanda Gianellione, Brianne Landry, Jamie Landry, Terry Larissay, Alex Stifel. Congratulations. Seven students in this class are graduating summa cum laude with highest honor. Each of these students have attained a grade point average of at least 3.900. They are Jordan Dufresne, Adriel Hotard, Megan Landry, Jamie Miller, Miranda Plaisance, Kathleen Vinci, and Ashley Zarang. Congratulations. You may be seated. Graduate students must earn a perfect grade point average of 4.0 to graduate with honor. The following candidates have achieved this distinction. They are Rebecca Adams, Alicia Boudreau, Michelle Chassaw, Andrea Champagne, Cody Cole, Aisling Collins, Lindsay Dupree, Claire Furlonger, Shelby LeBlanc, Shelby Lawson, Sharon LeBlanc, Ashley McDonald, CJ Monahan, Emily Peavy, Jessica Prey, and Shelby Saunier, and Jonathan Vernay. Congratulations, candidates. Thank you. You may be seated.
Thank you, Dr. Dial. Dr. Sue Westbrook, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, will now present the candidates for conferring of degrees. Following the conferral of degrees, graduates will walk across the stage as their names is called to receive their diplomas. The Director of University Graduate Studies and the College Dean will congratulate the degree recipients. Ms. Lori Valenti, Assistant Professor of Management and Marketing, will announce the names of the graduates. Mr. Kelly Rodrigue, University Registrar, and Ms. Joey Hebert, Assistant Director of Records and Registration, will assist in the presentation of diplomas. Dr. Westbrook.
Will the candidates for the master's degrees please stand? President Clune, these students have met the requirements of the graduate faculty in their respective colleges for these degrees. I recommend that you confer upon these candidates the degrees of Master of Arts in Teaching, Master of Arts in Business Administration, and Master of Education.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Supervisors for the University of Louisiana System, as President of Nicholls State University, I confer upon each of you the degrees of Master of Arts in Teaching, Master of Business Administration, and Master of Education, as appears on your diploma, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto.
Will the candidates for the bachelor's degrees please stand? President Clune, these students have met the requirements of the faculty in their respective colleges for these baccalaureate degrees. I recommend that you confer upon these candidates the degrees of Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Supervisors for the University of Louisiana System, as President of Nicholls State University, I confer upon each of you the degrees of Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science, as it appears on your diploma, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto.
Will the candidates for the associate degree please stand? President Clune, these students have met the requirements of the faculty in their college for the associate degree. I recommend that you confer upon these candidates the degree of the Associate of Science.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Supervisors for the University of Louisiana System, as President of Nicholls State University, I confer upon each of you the degree of Associate of Science as it appears on your diploma, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto. Will you please, commencement marshals, please lead all master's candidates to the stage.